All right, the Reds, it is Talking Reds, and Talking Reds reviewing the transfer window, which is now, of course, closed.
Slam shut.
Slam shut, as they say on Sky Sports. And
All right, the Reds.
Inception.
That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of a mad end to it, because we thought we were getting Carvalho and, you know, Neil Jones, James Pearce, Joycey, all of those people tweeting that it was going to happen, that it was on, everyone getting excited, everyone waiting for it to be confirmed, everyone there going, go on. Go on. It's fell through.
Yeah, a really shite twist to a movie that went on for far too long.
I mean, he wasn't going to play for us anyway.
No, I know.
And like but there was an excitement in the idea of it getting done, it being for definite.
You're getting the payoff of the day and all the the YouTube clips that you've read, you've watched, and all the pieces that you've read. I mean, I still think it'll happen. I just think this so far down the line. You mentioned before about Neco Williams going on loan, which is a good move for him, and we might talk about that. But I just feel like there's a relation. I've talked on a couple of the podcasts about like the relationship building that we've seen from Liverpool over the years with teams like Leipzig, but notably with Porto, and getting the Diaz deal done when at a time when Spurs were swooping in and all of that. There's a lot of these things that we don't think about as football fans that go on in the background. That is just like real business, partnerships and all of that being built. And I just think that I think they'll find a way to get it done. Both of us aren't really sure on the rules around, can they do a deal today that's the pre-contract? Does it have to go to a tribunal? Because
no, apparently they can pay. I'm just not sure when they can pay. So I don't know if they have to wait for a certain point, whether they can do it now. I've seen conflicting ideas around when they can get it done. But as you say, I just think there's too much stuff like that's gone on. So Nico's gone there on loan, so that's doing them a favour. We let Harry Wilson go there, and they basically haven't paid us for him. They got done over a barrel on Elliott. I think even if it meets all the criteria that it's got to meet, we still only pay about $4.5 million. Yeah. And that was a lad that Real Madrid wanted, and that we've already seen is absolutely top quality, and has got a good career ahead of him. So I think they'll want to get money for him. I think we've already been in his ear. I think he's probably already spoke to Klopp and all of those things. So I can still see it happening. I guess the only thing now is that it's open for other clubs to try and get him to put stuff in front of him.
If he wants to come, then he'll come to Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like Jurgen has spoken about players and about the culture he's built and about how these players need to fit into it, and they want to really have to be there. And that's maybe why Neco Williams has left. That he wants to play football. He's slightly unhappy about the lack of game time. But for new players coming in, you want them to be buzzing about signing for Liverpool. We know the allure of Jurgen Klopp. So I just think it gets done. I think that even at going to the wire last night, I think if there was a little bit of talk online, wasn't there, about like, come on, why have we left it this late? Like Liverpool skimping on $2 million and stuff like that. And I think that the fact is that they've probably known that even if it is a bit late, they'll still get it done somehow. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how it develops. Aside from all that, it is Craig's birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks. This is going somewhere.
So I've asked in the comments there, this is a live Talking Reds. I mean, some people will obviously be looking later on, but if you are on now and you are live and you are in the comments there, hit me with some Hannan moments. There have been a few over the years, haven't there?
Don't. Let's just do the
I'll just wish him happy birthday. I mean, there's loads of people in the comments wishing you happy birthday.
Nice one, everyone.
Which is nice.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Craig, says Thomas Martin Reader. What else have we got? The Anfield Wraps wish you happy birthday there as well.
Thank you.
The Wolfman's got nards. I am mate always there in the comments. Love it. He says, happy birthday, you Chris smashing weirdo.
Chucked him a tea there. No, that's a fair point, well made, that one.
Mark Swain says, I hope Robbo's bought you some crisps. I haven't, but you know what, I did have it in my head. I mean, it's one of those classics. I haven't come with anything in the end. I had it in my head to go and get you like a Kinder Egg, and I was going to give you it live on air, but then I bumped into Doffin and I forgot.
Oh no.
Sorry mate, but
I just smashed it and poured it into my mouth like I do with the crisps. Friend of the show, Simon, sent over, we're just waiting on it to arrive. He sent over some Irish crisps again, so thanks. Nice one, Si.
Someone says there's been loads of moments for Hannan, but I couldn't fucking pronounce them.
Nor could I. That was the problem.
I'm terrible at that as well.
Yeah, you are. I'm going to wait till it's your birthday.
We're the worst couple to do on Talking Reds for pronouncing any players' names. We can just about manage Neco Williams. Bringing it back to him, there's some fume I've seen, because there's always fume about everything. I think with social media now, just to get deep for a second, you can always find someone who's got an opposite view to you, and so you can therefore then carry that into content and go, well, I saw this fella saying blah blah blah. Look, some people think it's good and some people it's bad and some people won't be arsed. I'm sort of in the not arsed really. I think with Neco, he's played 387 minutes of football this season, 7 minutes in the Premier League, 180 in the Champions League and 200 in the League Cup. I think he's wanted to go for a while, and you've seen Liverpool put a price on him a while back. I think it was 10 to 12 million thereabouts. No one came in and offered that. He wants first team football, doesn't he? He's at that stage. He's been playing for Wales. He's been impressing for Wales. Yeah. He's going to a team that's like right at the top of the Championship, scoring loads of goals, looking to get promoted. I think it makes all the sense in the world, and I get that people will always do oh shit, but what about cover at fullback? But if you've got a culture where you're saying to the players, if I'm not playing you, I'll let you go, or I'll let you go on loan. And he has got that. He's got like this culture of fairness, hasn't he? If he suddenly says, no, you're not going, keeps him sort of against his will, and then you've got an unhappy soldier in the camp, if you like. Yeah. That's not the Klopp way, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No, he's not going to play the latter stages of the Champions League. He might have got Cardiff this weekend, maybe, but then I still think that with the amount of time that we've had off, I think with Thursday on the horizon against Leicester, he'll play probably stronger than we all think, because he'll want rhythm, and he's talked about that and momentum going into the league game, which will be such a big game, to be honest. But I just don't see where he would have got any minutes. If he's got 350 at the beginning of the season in the early stages of the Cups, then what's he getting at the business end? And look, there's so many opportunities for Liverpool this season in terms of the the 3 Cups, the league. And keeping hold of Neco, there's just it doesn't work for anyone. If we send Neco out on loan, especially to a team like Fulham who are flying, attacking football, Marco Silva, whatever you think of what he did at Everton, he's a good manager, and he's shown that at Fulham. He'll be back up in the Premier League in no time. He's a good manager for him to work under. Andy Robertson's spoken about, so highly about Marco Silva from his time at Hull. If he gets a decent 5 months here, there'll be teams after him in the summer with a fee, or he comes back to Liverpool and he's an even better right back with more experience, and not necessarily to challenge Trent, because no one can challenge Trent, but to be a really able deputy.
Yeah, Fulham top of the Championships, 5 points clear. Third place you got Bournemouth, which is where Nat Phillips has ended up on loan. I reckon
they've signed some footballers as well. Todd Cantwell, do you see that?
It's a little bit disappointing that for Nat, though, I reckon. I'm surprised there wasn't someone in the Premier League that wanted him. I did like, though, did you see their sort of welcome video for him?
Yeah.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So if you haven't seen it, it's basically him watching him skin, what's he called?
Ibrahimovic. Yeah.
Ibrahimovic in the San Siro. Buy yourself a centre-half that can Cruyff turn Ibrahimovic or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it shows you someone watching it on a phone, and then it's not.
It's quite interesting, that move, because Bournemouth have quite a few centre-backs. I was looking at their squads, look, hopefully he gets game time, hopefully he plays. I think it'd be a massive shame if he didn't. I'm sure he will. They're not signing him and not playing him, hopefully. But you're right, I think a lot of people thought he would get a Premier League move after the end of last season. I've never been as sold on Nat Phillips. I've really sort of appreciated what he did, and I've always thought of him as just giving everything for the team, and that's all you can ask for from any footballer of any sort of calibre. But I never thought he was quite, people calling for him to be the fifth centre back. That's unfair on him, and it doesn't means nothing to him. Joe Gomez can't get near the squad at the moment, so what's Nat Phillips going to do? But I thought he might get a Brighton or someone like that who'd maybe lost Ben White, and then Dan Burns leaving, somewhere like that. But it hasn't worked out. But again, with him, 6 months, plays well for Bournemouth, team flying in the league. There could be more suitors for him in the summer.
Yeah, people saying Neco wasn't looking particularly happy when he was sat on the bench. I would agree with that. He didn't. He looked often like he thought he should be getting a chance, and he wasn't. So I think it's one of them.
Good though. I'd be worried if Neco Williams was sat on the bench going, I'm just happy to be here. Because
he's Origi.
No, but Origi's different. Origi scored goals in massive games in the Champions League and in the final and so on. And Neco Williams has still a lot to prove as a footballer, and has to sort of find his own way within the game in terms of like what is his standard, where is his ceiling. No one knows that just yet. It could be Liverpool, it could be Premier League team. We'll soon see.
Someone said there, I wish I'd remembered this and said, like, can we have it as an insert? Have you seen the Everton Hollyoaks video?
Yes. Oh God. It's like Hollyoaks at night though. It's not even like. Oh.
I just thought, I sent it to James Sutton of Hollyoaks fame, and he was like, yeah, I've seen that, the bastard. But then he put like, you know, ha 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 as well. So I guess to him it was like taking the piss out of his job a little bit. But I just thought the timing of it and everything was brilliant, and all the little poses from, you know, like from Frank.
I always think like, and I sort of feel sorry for them because it's like it's thrown on. You know, like the video team and stuff here will know that like last minute if you've got something like that, you just have to come up with something in the moment and create it. But I'd love to be there when they're getting him to do all the things right. Look down, now look up.
I reckon he'd be into it though, the big tour.
Pull your cuffs. It's just a very strange video.
Yeah, he'd definitely be into it. What people saying Joe Gomez needs minutes and he may get them at right back. I mean, the only problem with that is he's so stylistically different to Trent, isn't he? I mean, you can say the same about Neco, but I think Joe struggles a bit like getting forward, putting Liverpool on the front foot. He's all right defensively, of course. I mean, and then you've of course got the break glass option of Milner. Although
I think it's more likely to be Milner. I think, and depending on the game.
I mean, just fingers crossed Trent just stays fit. Is the thing here,
yeah. I think we're going to have to. There is going to be sort of rotation at different times.
Your mate's getting a shout here as well,
Connor Bradley. I think the thing
he looks a better player, says the Spaniard.
Than Neco Williams. I think he looks as if he maybe has a higher ceiling. I think in terms of like what he offers, he looks a bit like an Andy Robertson. Like I'd love to have watched Andy Robertson at Connor Bradley's age and seen what the sort of difference is in because I don't think there'd be very much difference in style. Just I'd love to see what the difference in quality is. But I mean that's another one. He's probably still too young to be able to say, oh yeah, he's an able deputy to throw in any game and trust him. I think we've seen at times what he offers and then what he needs to improve on. I love him. I really want them to succeed. I'm just sort of being realist at a time when I want Liverpool to win all the trophies.
How old are you, lad?
Because of the pandemic, you had to claim a couple of years back, don't you? 31.
31?
Yeah.
Getting on.
Oh no, getting on.
Scott Young says, great live show last night too. Well done for pulling it together. Love a bit of grumpy, tired Rob, and Neil was top drawer for holding it all together. He needs a tour late night phone-in show. Now there is an agony show, by the way, if you subscribe, which is absolutely wild, which is where people send in their problems, literally, nothing to do with footy, and then a panel discusses it. I mean, as mad as it sounds, but that is part of what you get if you subscribe to the Anfield Wrap.
They're recording one this week. I think people have been asking, they're trying to get a new one. It's just hard to sort of pin everyone down, but hopefully this week they'll get one recorded.
Steve, who is a subscriber there, says he went to bed thinking we got Carvalho, got up for his 3 a.m. piss to find we hadn't.
I think that's maybe not the 3 a.m. piss. Yeah, that's when you know you're old. You're getting up in the middle of the night to go pissing. I think that'll have happened to a lot of people because like a lot of people would have gone, oh yes, we've got them, bedtime. Yeah. Got work in the morning, and then they've woken up and found out they haven't. But like I said, I think it gets done.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to be fuming about. I've got to be honest. My expectations for this window were not particularly high. And you know, I woke up today and I thought, well, we've got the noodle fella in.
The noodle, yeah.
That is in case you missed that is Diaz's nickname because he's so skinny, Noodle. But you know, that's the biggest deal done in the window as far as I can see.
Yeah, how many times over the years have you looked at Liverpool and you've thought, you know what, I just would have loved them to have given Jurgen Klopp something more, or have taken a risk, taken a punt to see what we can achieve and you know, sort of give us the best possible chance. And there's been too many times you just thought, no, they haven't done that. They haven't taken a big enough risk. They've played it safe, and at times that's worked out. You know, last year I remember being a bit annoyed coming towards the end of the transfer window, looking at it and thinking, why aren't we making any signings when we've got no centre backs at all, and it all gets a bit rushed at the end. And I was thinking, well, you know, if strategies long term and short term, you need to make short term decisions to make sure you hit your objectives at the end of the strategy. But this year, you know, you can see what they've tried to do. They've looked at the now and the sort of the future in Diaz, and then they've looked at the future for Carvalho.
Oh, true. Derek saying, what about Dele Alli for 40 million?
That's a wild.
It's initially free, isn't it? And then it's all like,
I think he has to win the Ballon d'Or or something. You know what I mean?
So for it to get to 40 is not very likely, I think.
I can't work out if that's a good sign or not. On the face of it, yes, it's like here's here's a footballer that needs to prove himself again. He's shown what he can do in the past and so on. It also feels like a usual Everton signing, like buy a reject from somewhere and hope that it works out.
Donny van de Beek's the same, isn't it? It's like I thought that the very same thing last night. I thought, they're potentially good, but you're not sure, and that's sort of like the market.
I think he'll be a good signing. I think he'll be a good signing just because he just has never been given a chance since he's been at United. You know what I mean? It's not as if he's like got into the team and then he's been dropped and there's been they've signed him and then never used him. So he always looked good at Ajax. I remember us being linked with him and stuff. I think he might be all right, but it'll be interesting to see under Frank Lampard.
I thought it was interesting as well. On the noodle fella, the comment from Klopp about the squad deserved it, because that. Without being too mischievous around it, that sort of hinted at there's been stuff I wanted to do before and I didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? For me, and we know he wasn't happy with the centre half situation. When we ran round Lidl last minute and got the fella who's at Sheffield United now and things like that.
Like supermarket sweep.
Yeah. I'll have him and him. So I think he was unhappy then, and this time around, like the Carvalho collapse aside, getting the noodle fella in under the noses of Spurs, it being a big deal, him looking really exciting as well, and we've all bailed into it, haven't we? And I just seen Neil Dockham when I was walking up, and we were like, the goal against Man City, what Man City are about, what their defence can do, and there he is running through them all, putting it in the corner. They're all fuming with each other. It's genuine excitement that we've got him, isn't it?
It's incredible, and I think that I've never looked at a Liverpool squad and looked at the forward line and been as happy as I am right now in terms of Salah, Jota, Mane, Diaz, Firmino, Elliott coming back. You've then got the likes of Keir Gordon, a young footballer that. Even Harvey Elliott as well. Harvey Elliott gets to come back into the mix and into the squad this weekend without any sort of real pressure on him. We don't desperately need Harvey Elliott to pull us out of any hole. Same with throwing someone like Keir Gordon in. You can put them in alongside a Firmino and a Diaz. Hopefully, we'll see at the weekend. Maybe we won't because of Diaz's international duty. But there's so many options there for the now and for the future, and I think that's really, really positive, because it's only maybe a year ago we were looking at the front line and saying, they're 29, they're 30, and where's, and Mane's contract's out soon, and so's Firmino, and are they gonna, and we don't know what's gonna happen with Salah. Jota Noodle, Jota Noodle. You got Harvey Elliott coming back, who can do bits for us in different positions. Got someone like Keir Gordon we can throw in the cup games and give experience and nurture and play under all of these incredible footballers.
It's genuine exciting right now. I haven't watched much of AFCON. I wish I'd watch more, but I've just been busy with other bits and bobs, and I've just dipped in now and then. But I saw Mane the other night, and it was just great seeing him in that context of being the main man for them. Yeah. And he plays that lovely little ball through and all that, but it was just the cockiness and the assuredness of the way he played, and it made me think we're a little bit spoilt now, I think, with this Liverpool side, in that once upon me and Dockham were talking about this when we were walking up just then. Once upon a time we had Torres and Gerrard, and they were the standout stars in the team, and we had all these dickheads writing in the press about being a two-man team. But now we've got loads of them, and we're a bit spoilt in a way. Like I say, you see Mane out of context, if you like, playing for his country, and you're like, he's an absolute superstar to them, and he's playing like one. And then you drop him back into Liverpool, and he's just one of many. There's
been doubters around Mane, and I understand that. We've not sort of seen the heights of 18, 19, 19, 20 Sadio Mane, but I just have it in me. He's going to come back from the AFCON, whether it's with a medal in his back pocket or whether it's just having been, like you say, the main man, the captain, the sort of driving force behind their bid to win the tournament. And he gets back and he sees this new fellow that's been signed for 50 odd million. What's he thinking? He's not thinking, oh no, what am I going to do now? He's thinking, I'm going to show you. That's what he's thinking. He's thinking, I'm better than him. I've done well more than him. I'll be fine here. And I think that's something that I think back to United sides over the years and think of how many options they had, how many times that the Tevez, Ronaldo and Rooney's and all of this were they drove each other on. They were, Berbatov, they were sort of competing with each other whilst being teammates, and that's what you want. Too long Liverpool have had Firmino, Salah and Mane, and it's been well, those are the front three. Yeah, now those three. Now Firmino's not sure if he's part of the front three. Now Jota's saying, well, I'm one of them. Yeah. Diaz is signing and saying, well, I'm not signing here to sit on the bench. I'm signing here to hopefully go after the 4 titles this season. So it's there's so much opportunity and there's so much hope off the back of not just a signing, but how that signing, how the signing impacts the rest of the squad and the players we already have.
Keeps everyone hungry, doesn't it? I mean, I was going through some old well-read magazines the other day, and like just the contract, you know, it's 10 years or more ago, 10, 12 years, whatever it is now, since I've done one of them. So, but I was just looking through, I came across some in my gaff, and like there were, you know, there's like big pieces about like, is David Ingo good enough? Yes or no, and things like that. Someone just mentioned them there, which is what triggered that memory. And it's like, well, in the context of now, obviously not. You know what I mean? Like, we're in such a different place to then. And that's why, like, you know, I mentioned before about it's easy to see people moaning on social media. You'd always find someone with a different point of view. But fuck me, we're in a good place compared to
we will
where
look back on this period in 5 years, in 10 years, 15, 20 years, and we'll look back and we'll be eulogising all of these footballers that we moaned about at times, and that we'll always moan. We're football fans, we'll always sort of, you know, the grass is always greener somewhere else, and there's always, you know, someone else has always got a better squad, and we always need one more player and so on. But we'll look back on this period and think like, my God, we were spoiled. And the most exciting bit is that it feels like this is now the pivot of the season, that the business end's about to come.
I mean, so what, you know, Theo was putting there, Jovanovic, Voronin, and you know, like, obviously as a fan, you like try to be positive, and like you're talking up this fella who's knocking around in town in like a silver trackie with a fucking ponytail, and he was shite. I mean, I think he scored a decent goal, was it against Sunderland or something like that, but he was crap. And do you remember when Jovanovic, that fucking headed it up the floor and fell over or whatever he did?
I'd do it on that table, but I'd go through that fucking table. But do you know, even like at times, like I remember under Hodgson, me saying to my mate, why don't we just try Babel through the middle up top? Why don't we just try that? Fuck me, looking back at that. But that's because we were relying on one, and it was Torres, and he was injured.
I remember we signed the Greek.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I ended up sort of loving him, bit of a cult hero.
Yeah, he was a cult hero. Yeah, he was. But that's why he's a cult hero, because he ultimately was shite.
But that was all that like Rafa was allowed to buy, because there was like fucking 2 bob in the fucking piggy bank. And now we're going out and blurting one of the biggest fees in the transfer window.
Blurring.
On Noodle.
But hoovering up like the you know, the best talent in the you know, across the country, and we've done it. Harvey Elliott, we've done it with Kate Gordon.
I'm getting PTSD off the fucking comments here. People putting Sean Dundee, Paul Konchesky.
Fucking hell. Sean Dundee, yeah. I remember, he was like, what was it he said he was? He was quicker than Michael Owen or something?
Fucking hell, honestly, like that lad, I remember he came on, and it just looked like he was running a swimming pool. And I just remember like some fella just leaning forward in his seat and just going, he's fast. Because I don't know, you told Roy Evans that he was fast, but he wasn't fast.
So yeah, I'd imagine the scouting network and the way we recruit players is a lot different, data-driven, and fucking, you know, scouts everywhere, not just a fella ringing you up and saying, yeah, we've got this fast lad, faster than home.
Yeah, that'll do us, won't it? Loads of stuff on the Anfield app as ever. Download the app, get involved, have a look at the premium content, see what you think. Check out the website as well, check out the shop. Stuff like this in there.
Mo Salah t-shirts back in stock, by the way. I know a lot of people have been asking for it. It's a biller. Really nice. Yeah, get on that.
There you go, theanfieldwrap.com. Loads of other stuff going on as well. Loads of shows, loads of podcasts, loads of videos, writing on the website as well. We are trying to look into live shows as well, so hopefully we can get back on the road again soon. You know, situation permitting and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, keep on watching, keep on liking, tell your mates, up the Reds. That's been Talking Reds.